Before stepping into the gym or participating in any activity for your week ahead, you must plan. Okay? You don't just show up to a workout and ask, what am I going to do today? What is the plan? What is the menu? That is a losing mentality. It is so important to pay attention to your program and your plan, right? And how to craft a program is the topic today. So today we will be talking about advanced planning, right? With advanced planning, you must understand these three categories, right? You must understand your priorities, your purpose, and your options. These are going to be crucial in crafting the perfect program for yourself. All right. Now, when you are going over these three categories, you must ask yourself a few questions. First, let's talk about priorities. When it comes to priorities, you must understand what are your non-negotiables. These are your family obligations, your work, and the duties that come with your work and with your family. All right. This could be a caretaking responsibility. This could be a obligation where you go to work and you need to have ad hoc phone calls from your boss or from clients. So these are non-negotiables that you have to commit to, and it cannot be moved in your calendar. Okay, so you must understand this, and then now let's work around it. All right. So once you understand your priority, set it aside, write it all down in paper. Right. Bullet point it and write it all down. Once you're done with that, understand what is your purpose. Okay. Once you understand your purpose, you're going to have direction. Right. It is so important to have one focused element in a period of time. This is a goal and this is a mini objective. Okay. So what area of my health do I want to improve? All right. So in terms of your personal health, there are a few ways to improve your health. All right. You can improve your strength, your stamina, and recovery. For your strength, this could translate into climbing mountains, athletic ability, frailty prevention. Really, the list goes on. Next is stamina, right? This is your aerobic capacity. When you climb up stairs, do you feel out of breath? Do you want to improve that? Do you want to climb and do a hike that's 4 to 6 hours long on a travel vacation? If that's important to you, then you need to be focusing on your stamina, right? Now, if you know you've been chronically sleep debt and you want to focus on your sleep, now that's recovery. Okay. Now, recovery is so important, and not a lot of people talk about it, right? You need to recover properly so that you can come back and actually achieve progressive overload, right? How you sleep, how you recover, that's literally going to affect your skin elasticity, how you store body fat, how you look like in terms of your eye bags. All of your visual appearance is going to be tempered if you do not recover optimally. Of course, the times where you're trying to perform, you're not going to reach as high if you do not focus on your recovery. Now, once you understand which area of your health you want to improve on, example, strength, stamina, recovery, then you hone into it. You hone into it, you figure out that this is what I want to focus on for the next 1 to 2 months. Okay? Once you figure that out, that's what you want to do. Let's say it's strength. You want to figure that out for 1 to 2 months. Now let's look at the options. Okay, so there's an A and an L over here. A stands for activity, L stands for lifestyle. Now, activity is everything that you participate in. Okay, now this could be going to the gym with friends, going to a studio with friends, running with a running club, cycling with friends, swimming. It could be anything that you opt in to do. Okay, so this is an activity. It requires some level of physical standard for you to participate in. So these are activities. And this is the variable that we want to manipulate. Okay, now I know everyone wants to do so many things. Maybe you have friends pulling you to do paddle, maybe golf, maybe boxing, maybe Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. All of this can be something that you want to do in terms of activity, but what is it that you need to do? So we need to go back and understand what is our purpose, okay? Which area of these activities is aligning ourselves to get to our goal, all right? So we set the purpose, let's say it's strength. We need to understand that the gym directly translates into strength, right? The gym directly translates to strength, running directly translates into stamina, and so on and so forth, okay? Now, last but not least is lifestyle, right? Lifestyle is kind of like your energy expenditure where it has nothing to do with the activity that you participate in. It is actually how you live your day-to-day life. Do you not have a car? Right? If you don't have a car, that means you're going to do more walking. If you do your own groceries, right? If you do your own errands, if you clean the house, this is all lifestyle related. Are you working a job that is very laborious? Are you a pipe layer, right? Do you actually go out and walk around the different floors like a nurse? So you need to understand what is your lifestyle, right? And understand how does that affect your life and the stresses that you can add on to your life. All right. So let's recap a little bit. Priorities is something that you have to understand what is a non-negotiable. So these are my priorities. My priorities is maybe family, maybe it's work, maybe it's all of it together. And once I understand that, I can move on and start making time for myself. Okay. So once I start making time for myself, I want to look at the overarching problem in my health, understand what area is it going to affect it most. All right. What area is it going to affect it most? If strength is important to you, you focus on strength for the next 2 months. If stamina is important to you, stamina for the next 2 months. Recovery, sleep. And last but not least, you understand the activities. Okay. Once you get your activities down, right, and understand that, hey, this activity feeds into this purpose / goal, then I can do more of this. Maybe I can add 2 gym sessions into my week. Maybe I should add 1 running session into my week. Maybe I should really try to get 10 hours of sleep on like Wednesdays and Fridays because I know that that is kind of a lull period in my schedule. So I'm going to feed that into my recovery. These are activities, okay? And last but not least, lifestyle, all right? Understand your lifestyle, understand what contributes energy into your lifestyle, and so that you will understand better of what you can commit to, what kind of stresses you can take, and how you can move forward planning. Now, advanced planning is so important. I get into this so much more detail into our premium side of the course, where I really break it down into months and days and even hours and minutes into your calendar. Now, this is the overarching principles that you need to take away to understand how can you craft your own program. But the nitty-gritty bits of what to do in those programs, that'll come later. Hope you enjoyed this video. Advanced planning.